Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the transatlantic Dl Lsv53Spa Us26D. Commercial Grade 2 cylindrical lever lock, Sparta style, entrance function, satin chrome finish. So let's dissect all of that. TA means transatlantic. Transatlantic, or TACO as it's sometimes known here in Chicago by some of the local contractors. Transatlantic. The DL-LSV is the series of this lock. It's a grade 2 cylindrical lock. It is a 53 function. That means that it is a push turn button is what this is. So it's a push, pardon me, it's a push and turn button. So it can operate as a passage, it can operate as an office, or as an entrance function. Okay. The 26D, of course, is satin chrome. Like I said before, this is a grade 2 cylindrical lock. This is going to allow you to install this in situations where you want to have the through bolts, or you don't. You can install it either way. Some people like the ability to install this without using the through bolts. I certainly don't recommend ever doing that, especially with a lock as substantial as this. This is a heavy lock. This lock weighs over 4 pounds. To have that much rotational pressure to be able to go onto the chassis of this lock, all that's really keeping it straight is the installed latch bolt, and you really need those through bolts. However, it can be installed that way. Okay, now digging into the nuts and bolts of this lock. This lock is going to give you this Sparta-shaped handle, is what Transatlantic calls it. Okay, you are going to get 2 Schlage C keyway with look-alike original key blanks, or keys, I should say, they're cut keys, randomly keyed, in a 6-pin drilled, and 6-pin pinned cylinder. So there's 6. It's a 6-pin cylinder, and it's pinned, all 6 that are in there. Okay. Then also you're going to get with that your 2 3/4 latch bolt. That's going to be 2 1/4 by 1 1/8. You're going to get your 4 7/8 ASA strike, typical 4 7/8 strike. You're going to get your just a multi-purpose tool, your wrench. This wrench is going to really just allow you to remove the inside lever. We'll go over that in a moment. Then you're going to get all your fasteners, your screws for the latch and the strike. You're going to get all your bolts to install the lock set. There is a link below this video to a document called Template, and that is also going to be included in the box. The 2 3/8 certainly does not apply, but you can order the 2 3/8 latch bolt for these at the same time as the lock, and be able to do 2 3/8 back set installations should you have a need for that. You might have existing doors that you need to work on a 2 3/8 back set. You could have wood doors with a big piece of glass molding, and you're really only left over with enough room to install this large rose at 2 3/8 back set. The diameter of this rose, you know what? I'm going to remove the inside lever. We're going to go over it real accurately at this point. Touch on some of the installation aspects as well. Installing these locks are really easy, and the key with installing these, and really all locks, is not to over-tighten the screws. Don't use a cordless drill to install these. The lock set will likely not operate correctly if the screws are too tight. About 3 5/16 overall diameter on that. So that'll give you an idea of where you might need to fall in at 2 3/8 back set center of the hole, 3 5/16. So when you remove the inside lever using your multi-purpose tool, and you do that by hitting that hole that's there and depressing the tab, and you'll be able to pull that off. There's the tab. This plate will come right off, but of course before that is going to be the rose and the lever springs that are concealed inside of here to help keep the lever horizontal. Then, of course, that plate will come off. At this point, you'll need to direct yourself to the installation instructions, which are included with this item. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure, which shows this series of lock along with Transatlantic's other series of locks. This is the grade 2 middle of the road lock. Now, their grade 1 lock that is referred to in the product brochure, that is a lock that you're going to see on page 1, which is normally where you find the heavy duty locks. It's a substantial lock, really nice, great value for the dollar, and that's why a lot of people like Transatlantic or Taco, whether it's an exit device, a lock set, or a door closer. There's great value involved there, and that has been the case for all of my 25 years of knowing and working with Transatlantic products. And I know even prior to that, that the same kind of reliance on dependability, value, etc. are there. They have in that same product brochure, they've got grade 1 knobs as well, less common these days, obviously, but you know, you might have an older hospital, and it's typical to put grade 1 in there, but it's difficult sometimes from a budget perspective to put, you know, locks that cost several hundreds of dollars each on what are janitor closets, that sort of thing. Then page 2, of course, brings you to the grade 2 lever locks, which is by far the most common locks that we sell. The grade 3 we don't get involved in too much. Their deadbolts are very good. That 2 3/8 latch bolt I mentioned is even further in the catalog, but you can pick up that part number there. Get into the deadbolts. Their mortise locks also are a good, I've not had a problem with their mortise locks. I would suggest you use them if you want a good performing mortise lock that will have moderate sort of volume use. Okay, the last pages get into a summary of all the functions, etc. Okay, back to the grade 2 Dl Lsv lock that we're doing here. I sell these to contractors who are doing typical retail build-outs. Fast food chains, they'll put these on their restroom doors. And sure, it's not unheard of that one of these locks will fail from vandalism, but the truth of the matter is, all locks will fail to abuse and vandalism at a certain point. And the logic is by a lot of people that are building chain sort of coffee shops, etc. They have come to recognize the value in a good quality lock that, quite frankly, they can replace 3 or 4 of these before they were to buy one heavier duty lock, when a size 12 boot's going to break both of them regardless. So anyway, enough with the pontificating about that. Let's get into the installation. Your instructions are included and are very simple and straightforward. Once you've got your hole drilled in the door, and it's pretty crucial to have that hole drilled accurately and straight. Cylindrical lock parts don't like to have any sort of undue stress on them being forced to fit into a hole that's not straight or properly sized. Once you get into having the door machined, I do suggest that you do your holes at 12 and 6 for the through bolt as shown in step 2. And then getting down further into the lock installation of step 5, they want you to disassemble the lock as we have here. Okay? And really at that point you're going to be faced with this going through, well, your latch bolt going in first, and then all of this communicating to each other to get installed. Doing that backwards. Okay. Okay. Then your plate will come in. You've got these prongs that are here. Those are going to go towards the face of the door. If it's a wood door, no problem. That'll bite right in. If it's a metal door, the metal door will have little cutouts at 3 and 9 for that. Then at this point, you're able to continue with the installation, but prior to that is where you're going to be looking for the through bolt installation, and those studs are in that package and they're threaded down at the end, and then they are tapped in that hole that's here, so they will thread right into here, and then you will run your screw through your backing plate back to where that hole is, and you're in real good shape getting that lock completely secured down. Then what they have here for you is they'll show screws to the face of the plate to the door. They will then show you how you're going to install the scalp plate that's got the springs inside of here down to your assembly to finish off your installation. This stem right here is what engages with the slot in the back of the lever, and that is how the trim actually engages the springs that are in there. Okay, so those two have to meet. That piece there with the slot. Once this piece is installed onto the door, quite frankly, your scalp piece, your rosette, your finished rosette, just snaps on. Then you're all but done. Inside lever trim goes on. Make sure that it's connected and secure. Test the operation of your lock. Always do this. Be sure the lever is on and the operation of the lock is correct with the keys that are provided. Install something too quickly, the last lock of the day, and you're half an hour from home and someone calls up and says, hey, I've got the lever in my hand and I'm on the inside of the bathroom. So you don't want that. Test fully everything. If you have any questions on the installation of this, please feel free to reach out to me. I've installed these locks countless times, and I feel strongly about Transatlantic's lock line, their exit device line, and their door closer line having a very good niche in the marketplace, and its value is really what it is. Good performance, good value, and is a good option in a lot of cases. There is a link below this video as well to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the entire product catalog from that page and view all of their items. And looking through their product line and being familiar with it as much as I am, I don't have anything that I would say I would stay away from. I have had excellent track record, an excellent track record with all of their door closers. I wouldn't hesitate at all about using those. Looking through the rest of the catalog real quickly, the exit devices are all excellent. That ED501 is a superb exit device. I would use it in all instances unless it was going to be high volume use. I wouldn't use it there. It's a very simple and very robust mechanism. Their storefront hardware I don't have any experience with directly. I've not installed it myself, but a lot of people buy it, and it is equal to everybody else's that I have seen. Getting down through the rest of the catalog, storefront hardware, like I said, they're continuous geared hinges. I've used that material as well. I find it a very good, reasonable, stock, quick ship sort of continuous geared hinge. Their hinges, after that, whether it's a reinforcing hinge, a double acting spring hinge, it's all very good material. And of course their lock sets that we've already discovered and discussed. And then of course their ancillary hardware, their builder's hardware. Any questions on the Transatlantic Dl Lsv53Spa? That's the box it comes in. Sparta satin chrome lever lock, or any other Transatlantic piece of hardware, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.